Most men begin the day as if it were a punishment. They drag themselves from bed, haunted by yesterday, already dreading tomorrow. Their first words are not commands, but complaints. I'm tired. It's too early. Another day, the same struggle. And so the day obeys them. But imagine just once beginning differently. Imagine waking with the audacity to declare before your feet touch the floor, "This is the best day of my life." Not because everything is perfect, but because you have decided it will become so. When you speak those words with belief, you do not describe your day, you create it. You instruct your subconscious mind to search for proof, to organize the world around your decision. Life itself begins to listen. Most men think faith is something that comes after success, but faith is the architect of success. It is the power that moves before the evidence. The man who says, "This is the best day of my life," when all appears against him, is the man who commands the unseen law that governs every outcome. You must understand, days are not neutral. They are obedient. They will mirror your command, whether it be despair or dominion. And if you begin each morning expecting little, you shall receive exactly that, little. But if you rise each dawn and decree with purpose, "This is the best day of my life," you awaken forces that do not sleep. You summon opportunity, energy, gratitude, and courage, the building blocks of all achievement. So I ask you, how will you begin tomorrow? As a servant to circumstance, or as its master? The words are simple, but the law behind them is eternal. Whatever you declare with faith, you will become. And when you repeat this daily, when your subconscious no longer argues but believes, then every day, no matter its appearance, will begin to bend toward greatness. Because the day does not decide who you are. You decide what the day will become. When I rise each morning, I understand that I have entered the hour of creation. The first few minutes after awakening are sacred, for the conscious mind is still quiet, and the subconscious mind is wide open, ready to receive the orders that will govern the entire day. Those who know this law become masters of time itself, because they determine what kind of day shall exist before the day even begins. Each dawn is a decree handed to you by infinite intelligence. It bears no words until you sign it with your thoughts. You may write upon it with gratitude or complaint, faith or fear, and the universe will honor your signature. The day does not argue. It does not decide. It obeys. Therefore, if you greet the morning with power, the day will move in power. But if you rise with resentment, the world will reflect your resentment back to you. Observe the common man. He awakes as a prisoner of yesterday. His first thought is regret, his first word a sigh. He drags himself from bed, muttering the old confessions of defeat. "I'm tired. I'm late. It's just another day." Those words become law to his subconscious. His body obeys fatigue, his mind obeys complaint, his spirit obeys despair. He repeats failure with the rhythm of ritual and wonders why his life does not improve. Now consider the man of mastery. He greets the morning as a general greets his army. His first act is command. Before his feet touch the floor, he declares with conviction, "This is the best day of my life." These words are not mere hope, they are law. He does not describe the day, he creates it. He does not wait for proof, he issues decree. His mind becomes the throne of creation, and all events soon align to his command. Thought spoken with emotion becomes law. Words are not sounds, they are living forces moving through the ether, carrying the blueprint of belief. The subconscious accepts them as instruction, not suggestion. When a man says, "This is the best day of my life," with feeling, his entire nervous system adjusts to that vibration. His step quickens, his vision sharpens, his heart lifts, and infinite intelligence moves unseen to justify his conviction. Consider Henry Ford, who said during the bleakest years of his factory struggle, "I am thankful for every difficulty. It teaches me something." He spoke with gratitude when others complained. Those words contained the secret of endurance. Gratitude turned obstacles into instruments. Faith was not something he waited to feel. It was something he decided to command. That is why his name became immortal. Gratitude is the highest vibration of thought. It connects man to infinite intelligence as lightning connects cloud to earth. It dissolves fear because it recognizes divine order. When you speak gratitude aloud, the entire field of mind opens to receive guidance. The man who begins each morning in thanks finds that opportunity visits him continually, for he vibrates in harmony with abundance. Say this each morning: I begin this day as creator, not creature. My first words are law to my subconscious. Today I choose power, peace, and plenty. These are not poetic lines. They are instruments of mental control. When spoken with emotion, they program the subconscious as surely as light engraves film. The subconscious does not debate, it performs. The first thought of the day is the architect of all that follows. It is the seed from which every hour grows. If that seed is fatigue, the harvest will be weakness. If it is enthusiasm, the harvest will be triumph. You cannot plant doubt and reap success. You cannot plant complaint and expect peace. The mind, like the soil, returns what you sow. Understand the difference between suggestion and autosuggestion. Suggestion is accidental. Autosuggestion is deliberate. The weak mind allows the world to suggest discouragement. The strong mind begins the day by suggesting greatness to itself. When repeated long enough, autosuggestion becomes instinct. It rewrites the subconscious until action itself becomes effortless obedience to faith. Thomas Edison knew this law well. He spent long nights in thought and rose to action without hesitation. His favorite declaration was, "There is a better way, and I will find it." That statement became his compass. Each day obeyed that single thought, and the world rewarded him with the discovery of light. When you awaken, do not leap into chaos. Sit up slowly, breathe deeply, then speak your decree aloud. The voice carries creative vibration. Whispering is not enough. Command. Feel the resonance in your chest. The subconscious speaks the language of emotion, not logic. It responds to tone more than syllable, to faith more than grammar. This daily act, though simple, can save you 10 years of wandering, for it eliminates drift, and drift is the destroyer of progress. Most men lose decades in hesitation because their mornings are lawless. They enter each day without direction, and life carries them aimlessly. But the man who begins with command moves through the world like a guided arrow. When practiced long enough, this habit becomes automatic. You will awaken with excitement rather than reluctance. You will no longer wait for inspiration. It will meet you at the edge of consciousness. The mind, trained to expect greatness, will produce it naturally. You must not judge this practice by the first day's result. Law works by accumulation. A single declaration may not yet rewrite years of habitual complaint, but repetition reshapes destiny. Each morning adds another brick to the fortress of faith. Soon the subconscious will no longer resist. It will obey instantly. Remember, each dawn is your appointment with creation. Infinite intelligence does not discriminate. It waits for your order. You may direct it through faith or through fear. But if you fail to direct it, it will take direction from habit. And habit is the graveyard of greatness. Do not allow the morning to pass without ceremony. Make it sacred. When you open your eyes, understand that you have been granted the most precious of gifts, another chance to command the unseen. Speak to the day as a monarch to his realm. Say, "This is the best day of my life." Say it until the words no longer feel borrowed, until they vibrate with conviction. As you repeat this, imagine light filling your body. Imagine infinite intelligence awakening within you. Imagine your purpose calling out to be fulfilled. These images are not fantasy. They are blueprints. The subconscious receives them as instruction and begins to attract circumstances matching their vibration. In a week, you will notice subtle changes. In a month, definite ones. People will respond differently. Luck will appear where none existed. Problems that once angered you will dissolve. And you will realize that nothing in the outer world changed except you. To govern the morning is to govern the world. Every empire of success is built at dawn, not upon earth, but within mind. Those who fail to master this hour are slaves to circumstance. Those who do master it become masters of fate. The man who commands the morning commands the law. The world bends quietly before the mind that knows its power. So rise tomorrow with a new understanding. Before your body moves, move your spirit. Before your eyes see, let your faith see. Declare with power, this is the best day of my life. And it shall be so. Every age of progress began not with invention, but with speech. Words are the bridges between invisible thought and visible form. They are the living instruments through which man commands creation. The careless speak as though words were wind, but the wise understand that every syllable is a seed. Spoken with belief, it grows into the forest of experience. Spoken with doubt, it withers and leaves the mind barren. When you rise and declare, this is the best day of my life, you are not describing a condition. You are issuing a decree. The subconscious does not reason, nor does it question. It obeys. It accepts whatever command is impressed upon it with emotion. Thus, when your first words are filled with faith, your mind begins at once to arrange all forces to make them true. The great failure of men is not ignorance, but indifference to their own language. They speak defeat while praying for victory. They complain of what they secretly wish to improve. They speak carelessly, and their careless speech becomes careful law. Every morning, the average man begins with phrases that destroy him. I am so tired. I cannot afford it. Nothing ever goes my way. These are not harmless sentences. They are self-inflicted wounds. The mind repeats them until they take root, and the subconscious, faithful servant that it is, obeys the poison. Andrew Carnegie knew the opposite. He trained his tongue to align with his will. He said, any word that weakens belief is betrayal. When faced with difficulty, he did not permit even the faintest murmur of defeat. His associates recalled that he forbade negative speech in his presence. His reason was simple. Words carry vibration, and vibration shapes matter. By disciplining his language, he disciplined his destiny. Affirm daily, my words build my world. I speak only that which I wish to live. Say it aloud. The declaration itself reshapes thought. For repetition transforms suggestion into belief, and belief transforms into fact. Words are bridges between two realms, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind chooses them. The subconscious builds from them. Yet the subconscious does not interpret sarcasm or humor. If you declare with laughter, I'm always unlucky, the subconscious hears only the command and delivers misfortune. It does not understand your jest. It understands only your feeling. Thomas Edison mastered this science long before psychology named it. He repeated ideas until they became absolute reality. His assistant said that he hypnotized himself into success. They were correct in part, but it was not hypnosis. It was autosuggestion, the art of impressing the subconscious with persistence until the unseen world conforms. The subconscious is fertile soil. It does not question the seed, it only grows what is planted. You may plant roses or weeds, gratitude or despair, but the law remains the same. Every day's harvest is the sum of yesterday's words. Speak no idle complaints. Each one is a curse. When you say, this day is terrible, you are commanding the mind to search for proof. It will notice only trouble and ignore blessings. The same law that can create paradise can create prison. You are always its master or its victim. Every great leader has used speech to direct the invisible. Henry Ford, mocked by the world, refused to repeat its disbelief. He did not say, they are right, I cannot. He said, I can. 2 words, simple, direct, unstoppable. That affirmation contained more power than 1,000 explanations. Repeat your affirmation throughout the day. This is the best day of my life. Let it become the rhythm of your breathing. Speak it when rising, when walking, when doubt whispers. Speak it not as plea, but as command. You will feel the vibration change within you. The body responds to the mind's order. Fatigue lifts. Enthusiasm returns. When Carnegie addressed his staff, he spoke as though success were inevitable. Even in loss, he said, "We shall build again better than before." His faith infected thousands of men. It was speech that built his empire. For when one man speaks with conviction, 1,000 minds align unconsciously with his belief. Understand this: prayer, affirmation, and decision are the same act under different names. All are expressions of faith through word. Whether you call it decree or prayer matters little. What matters is the emotion behind it. Cold words do nothing. Warmed by faith, they move worlds. Each morning, make your tongue your servant, not your master. Speak only what you intend to experience. When anger rises, pause before utterance. A single bitter phrase can undo hours of calm. Speech, once released, cannot be recalled. It travels through the ether, gathers energy, and returns magnified. Train yourself to listen to your own words as though they were law being written in your destiny. Imagine that every word you speak is carved into the foundation of your fortune. Would you speak so carelessly then? Create a discipline. Record your speech for one day. Listen to it in the evening. You will hear the true author of your circumstances. Every sigh, every complaint, every expression of doubt will reveal why success delays its visit. Then begin to rewrite the script deliberately. Replace I must with I will. Replace I can't with I can. Replace I hope with I expect. Words direct vibration, and vibration draws reality. This is no mystery, it is law. When the conscious and subconscious agree through repeated speech, infinite intelligence rushes to fill the mold. The law of attraction is the law of consistent declaration. The man who speaks in harmony with his desire speaks the language of creation. The man who contradicts his desire divides his power. He says, "I wish to succeed," but mutters, "It is too hard." His words cancel his prayer. His subconscious, confused, returns emptiness. When Edison's experiments failed, he did not say, "It cannot be done." He said, "I have learned another way not to do it." Each sentence carried faith rather than frustration. His assistants absorbed his belief until it became collective certainty. That certainty shaped invention itself. There is a rhythm in speech that aligns with universal order. The tones of faith, gratitude, and joy vibrate in harmony with creation. The tones of fear, envy, and anger clash and produce chaos. Speak slowly, clearly, deliberately. Feel the weight of each syllable. Your words are tools of construction. Use them as a craftsman uses steel, with precision. If you doubt, say it aloud until the words overpower the feeling. Speech reshapes emotion. Say, "I am calm, I am powerful, I am guided." At first, the mind resists. Repeat again. The vibration begins to override resistance. Emotion follows word. The process may feel mechanical at first, but persistence transforms imitation into reality. Carnegie once wrote, "The man who talks success into himself becomes success." This was not poetry, it was instruction. You must speak yourself into greatness daily until silence itself begins to echo faith. Do not concern yourself with the disbelief of others. They will call your practice foolish until they see its results. Speak faith quietly within your heart. Let results answer mockery. Those who guard their speech guard their destiny. Words are servants, and once disciplined, they serve faithfully. But the undisciplined tongue is a traitor. It betrays the master at the moment of doubt. As you continue the practice of morning command, remember that speech is its extension throughout the day. Morning begins creation. Language sustains it. Every time you repeat your decree, you are strengthening the bridge between intention and manifestation. When the day ends, review your words as you review your deeds. Ask, did my language honor my faith? Did I speak as the master of circumstance or its servant? This nightly reflection will refine your power. Soon the world will begin to echo your tone. People will greet you differently. Opportunities will appear unbidden. Fortunes will move toward you as though summoned by name. These are not miracles. They are consequences. The law does not reward, it responds. You may save decades of wandering by mastering this single principle. Change your words, and you change your world. Every morning, every hour, every challenge, speak the command. This is the best day of my life. Do not say it lightly. Say it as one who knows his word is law. Faith will answer, and life will rearrange itself to match your conviction. The man who controls his speech controls his fate, and the man who commands his day through word commands his eternity. Gratitude is not courtesy, it is creation in motion. It is the vibration of harmony between man and infinite intelligence. When you give thanks, you align yourself with the order of the universe. When you complain, you fall out of rhythm with it. Gratitude is the highest expression of faith, for it praises the result before the evidence appears. The man who learns this discipline walks through storms as calmly as through sunlight because he knows that every condition hides a gift. Every successful man I have ever known made gratitude his first and final act of each day. Andrew Carnegie, when asked the source of his peace, replied, I begin and end every day with thanks for what is and for what will be. This habit was no accident of temperament. It was his method of controlling mind. Gratitude, expressed with emotion, clears fear and multiplies opportunity. It is the vibration that calls forth abundance. When you say, this is the best day of my life, you are practicing gratitude in its purest form. You are thanking life in advance. You are declaring harmony before proof. Gratitude is faith rejoicing. It does not wait for success to arrive. It creates the atmosphere in which success must appear. The ungrateful man blinds himself. He prays for abundance while cursing what he already possesses. He asks for peace while complaining of the noise of opportunity. The law cannot expand what is despised. Whatever you reject withdraws. Whatever you appreciate multiplies. The universe is impartial. It reflects your recognition. Affirmation, I am grateful for all that is and all that is coming. Gratitude multiplies every good in my life. Speak it each morning after your declaration. Feel the warmth in your chest as you speak. Emotion engraves gratitude upon the subconscious more deeply than words alone. One grateful thought can dissolve hours of worry. Gratitude transforms emotion from fear to faith, from tension to serenity. It magnetizes peace because it aligns your mind with the rhythm of infinite intelligence. Worry shuts the door. Gratitude opens it. Consider Thomas Edison, whose laboratory once burned to the ground, destroying years of work and millions in value. When others wept, he smiled and said, all our mistakes burned up. Tomorrow we start fresh. That statement rebuilt his fortune faster than complaint ever could. Gratitude rebuilt his energy first, and energy rebuilt his empire. Gratitude must be practiced, not postponed. Begin each morning with thanks for at least 5 things: for life, for purpose, for the ability to think, for the strength to act, for the opportunity to serve. Speak your thanks aloud. The voice carries conviction into the subconscious. If gratitude is only silent, it remains incomplete. Specificity strengthens feeling. Do not say, I am thankful for everything. The subconscious cannot respond to vagueness. Say instead, I am thankful for this breath. I am thankful for this strength. I am thankful for this new chance. Each definite recognition builds a definite vibration. Henry Ford practiced this law quietly. He said, I am thankful for resistance. It teaches me how much power I possess. Gratitude made him unshakable. Problems became lessons. Delay became preparation. Where others saw defeat, he saw instruction. Gratitude is not submission. It is power in repose. It does not mean to accept injustice or weakness. It means to recognize the hidden wisdom in every event. Gratitude is the vision of faith. It sees order where others see confusion. When gratitude becomes habit, the mind ceases to dwell on lack. The subconscious, fed on appreciation, begins to attract only that which harmonizes with it. Opportunities multiply because gratitude is magnetic. It draws more of its kind. Abraham Lincoln, in the darkest years of war, said, "We must rise with gratitude or sink with fear." He thanked Providence even for the strength to endure. Gratitude sustained him when the nation trembled. It was not emotion, it was discipline. It was the daily acknowledgement of divine order amid chaos. Exercise. After your morning declaration, close your eyes and recall 3 moments of past triumph. Feel gratitude for them as though they had just occurred. Then, with the same feeling, give thanks for something you desire in the future as though it were already yours. This practice merges memory and imagination into one vibration of faith. You will notice that gratitude eliminates envy. It is impossible to thank life and resent others simultaneously. Jealousy is gratitude inverted. It sees what it lacks rather than what it has. True gratitude rejoices in another's success because it confirms the abundance of the source. The law of gratitude is the law of expansion. When you express appreciation for what you have, the subconscious interprets it as readiness for more. Infinite intelligence answers, "He has understood. Add to him." The ungrateful man receives nothing because the law interprets his complaint as unreadiness. If you wish to know your spiritual altitude, measure your gratitude. The higher your thanks, the greater your peace. The man who cannot find reason for gratitude in hardship has not yet learned the secret of growth. Every trial carries a seed of transformation, and gratitude is the sunlight that awakens it. Carnegie used to say, "Show me a man who complains of small duties, and I will show you one who will never be trusted with great ones." Gratitude in the small opens the gate to the great. Every empire begins in appreciation of opportunity. At night, before sleep, review your day through the lens of thanks. For every irritation, find one lesson. For every delay, find one protection. This practice rewrites memory, turning pain into wisdom. Gratitude redeems even the past because it changes how the mind interprets it. Do not wait for perfect conditions to be thankful. Gratitude in difficulty is the highest form of faith. When you can bless the storm blesses you. Gratitude is the power that transforms adversity into advantage. Each act of gratitude saves you years of futile searching for happiness elsewhere. Happiness is not discovered, it is recognized. Gratitude reveals that abundance has always been present, waiting only for your acknowledgement. Repeat this affirmation throughout the day. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for this opportunity, this strength, this lesson. Soon you will feel a calm certainty guiding you, as though unseen hands arrange your affairs. That is not chance. It is the echo of gratitude returning as provision. He who begins his day with thanks ends it in triumph. Gratitude is invisible gold preceding every visible fortune. It is the law behind peace, prosperity, and power. So tomorrow morning, before you move a muscle, whisper with faith, "Thank you. This is the best day of my life," and the universe, ever faithful, will reply in kind. Expectation is the unseen hand that steers destiny. Every man receives not what he merely wishes for, but what he expects. Wish is weak. Expectation is command. Wish looks upward. Expectation reaches outward and takes hold. You are not rewarded for what you desire, but for what you are certain will come to pass. Every thought clothed in expectation becomes law in motion. When you declare, "This is the best day of my life," you are not making a hope. You are making a claim. You are commanding the mind to prepare all powers, all faculties, all unseen allies for success. The subconscious begins to build the day according to that pattern. The universe, which mirrors faith as faithfully as glass reflects face, returns exactly the picture you hold. Faith grows not by waiting, but by expecting. Expectation is faith with direction. It organizes evidence around belief. Whatever you consistently expect, you attract, not because of mysticism, but because expectation sharpens attention, directs emotion, and guides energy toward fulfillment. Henry Ford understood this law more clearly than most philosophers. When machinery failed or critics scoffed, he said calmly, "We will build a better one." That statement was not optimism. It was mental order. He expected progress, and therefore progress appeared. Had he expected loss, loss would have hurried to meet him. The law is impartial. It obeys the strongest vibration. The pessimist proves the same law in reverse. He anticipates trouble and receives it. He braces for disappointment and finds it faithful. The subconscious cannot decide between good and bad. It only fulfills the pattern impressed upon it. Both failure and fortune begin as expectation. Repeat each morning, "I expect greatness in every detail of this day. I move forward certain of success." Say it slowly, with conviction. Expectation spoken with authority becomes a magnet for opportunity. Expectation is the mental steering wheel of your day. You may direct it toward abundance or toward lack, but you cannot let it idle. The man who expects nothing receives exactly that, nothing. Every morning, visualize your day as fruitful. Expect to meet the right people, to hear the right ideas, to find the right timing. Expect challenges too, but expect that they will serve you. This form of expectation transforms obstacles into instruments of growth. Thomas Edison lived in a constant state of expectancy. He began each morning saying, "Something marvelous is about to reveal itself." That simple statement tuned his mind to discovery. He did not hope for ideas, he expected them. When the mind expects, it prepares. It becomes alert to guidance. Expectation sharpens perception. Two men may face the same scene. One finds nothing, the other finds fortune. The difference lies not in opportunity, but in expectation. The eye sees only what the mind believes is there. The man who expects good discovers hidden doors and plain walls. The man who expects trouble trips over open gates. At dawn, after giving thanks, close your eyes and imagine your day unfolding perfectly. See yourself calm, decisive, efficient, and favored. Picture doors opening easily, tasks flowing smoothly. Then say aloud, "I expect the best, therefore the best appears." The subconscious accepts this vision as instruction and begins to arrange circumstances accordingly. Fear is inverted expectation. It is faith turned backward. Worry is faith in failure. The cure for worry is not argument, it is redirection. Replace fear with deliberate positive expectation. Each time a fearful thought arises, answer it with certainty. Everything is working in my favor. Say it until your heart believes it. When Carnegie's enterprises faced market crashes, he declared, "Good. Prices are low. We shall build twice as much." His expectation turned crisis into opportunity. He did not deny difficulty, he directed it. Expectation transforms pressure into propulsion. Faith without expectation is like a ship without a compass. It moves, but not toward destination. Hope may comfort, but only expectation creates. The law moves in the direction of your certainty. Abraham Lincoln, when surrounded by division and loss, said, "The better angels of our nature shall prevail." He expected the nation to heal, and his steadfast expectation outlived him. It became the destiny of a people. Expectation is immortal once deeply believed. Each time you expect greatness, you save years of wasted effort. Doubt divides energy. Expectation unifies it. Doubt asks, "What if I fail?" Faith expects, "When I succeed." The difference of words is the difference of worlds. To practice expectation is to train the subconscious in advance. The mind becomes so accustomed to anticipating success that it rejects failure instinctively. You will begin to feel guided, not by whim, but by certainty. Infinite intelligence favors the expectant mind because it is the only one that gives it definite shape to work through. You must also expect results from yourself. Do not merely expect the day to bless you, expect yourself to act with courage, composure, and conviction. Expect patience under trial. Expect strength under fatigue. Expect understanding where others would take offense. These inner expectations shape your character into the likeness of mastery. The man who expects mediocrity from himself cannot perform greatness, no matter how much he hopes. But the man who expects mastery from himself grows into it. The mind rises to its own prophecy. Expectation must be constant, not conditional. The wind may change, but your faith must not. Whether the world seems against you or silent, hold your vision steady. Expectation is tested by delay. Persistence in expectancy proves belief. Say throughout the day, I expect progress. I expect solutions. I expect success to meet me halfway. The words may feel bold at first, but boldness is the language of faith. The timid voice commands nothing. When you live in this manner, the improbable becomes the inevitable. Coincidences multiply because your mind notices what it once ignored. Infinite intelligence answers through hunches, meetings, and moments that seem accidental but are divinely timed. The man of weak expectation drifts through life. The man of definite expectation compresses decades into days. He wastes no time in doubt, for his inner certainty shortens every path. Edison said, I never failed once. I discovered thousands of ways that will not work. That is not humor. It is expectation trained to see progress where others see defeat. His genius lay not in intellect, but in disciplined optimism. Expectation is invisible preparation. When you expect greatness, you unconsciously behave in accordance with it. You stand taller, speak clearer, decide faster. The world, reading your vibration, responds as servant to master. Promise yourself this: you will never again greet a day in uncertainty. You will never begin with perhaps. You will begin with it shall. That single change of tone can save you 10, 20, even 30 years of wandering. For indecision wastes lifetimes. Expectation collapses them into moments of progress. Each morning, the law stands ready, awaiting your belief. Expect wealth in thought, not merely in coin. Expect strength in spirit, not merely in circumstance. Expect harmony in all dealings. Expect the unseen to aid you, and it shall. For whatever you truly expect, consistently, passionately, and without contradiction, cannot remain unreal. Expectation is the bridge from belief to manifestation. Hold it steady, and the world must cross to meet you. Tomorrow, before you open your eyes, whisper in faith, something marvelous awaits me today. This is the best day of my life, and the law, which never sleeps, will make it so. Faith that does not move is a statue, beautiful to look upon, but lifeless. It inspires awe, but it creates nothing. The man who repeats, "This is the best day of my life," and then waits for proof, has missed the law entirely. Words are seeds. Action is their watering. You must follow every declaration with deeds that confirm it, or the seed will dry in the soil of inaction. Faith must walk, not sit. The difference between the dreamer and the doer lies in motion. The dreamer believes the law works for others. The doer acts as if the law has already obeyed him. Faith is invisible energy seeking form. It needs the hand of action to mold it into shape. When Thomas Edison conceived of the electric light, he did not stop to question whether it was possible. He acted as though it already existed, and because of that faith, he called it from the unseen into the seen. His countless experiments were not signs of doubt. They were demonstrations of belief. His faith was not idle. It worked through his hands. You must not only speak your faith, you must prove it through effort, through decision, through persistence. Every act of courage strengthens belief. Every moment of hesitation weakens it. Faith grows by exercise, as muscle does by use. Each morning when you declare, "This is the best day of my life," you must behave as if it truly were. Walk with purpose. Greet the day with energy. Speak with calm assurance. Each small act aligned with faith tells the subconscious, "This is real." The mind then multiplies the vibration until it becomes instinct. Affirm, "I act upon my belief." Each step I take is guided by infinite intelligence. This single statement, repeated with emotion, will move you more than 100 hours of study. For knowledge only opens the path. Faith walks it. Faith in action destroys fear because the two cannot occupy the same space. The man who acts cannot simultaneously doubt. Fear survives only in inaction. The instant you move, you have declared your allegiance to faith. Action itself becomes the argument that silences uncertainty. When Henry Ford faced ruin, he did not retreat into caution. He said, "We will double production." That decision shocked his advisors, but delighted the law. The very act of expansion attracted new resources. Faith rewarded motion, not comfort. To practice this principle, begin with a simple exercise. Each morning after your declaration, perform one deliberate act of faith. Make a call you have delayed. Begin a task you have postponed. Speak words of confidence where you once were silent. These actions, however small, are the engines of destiny. Andrew Carnegie began his career as a telegraph clerk, yet he acted daily as though he were already a captain of industry. He studied management, served diligently, built relationships with the powerful. His behavior was faith in action long before success appeared. The world simply adjusted itself to match his belief. Every time you move upon faith, you instruct the subconscious to align circumstance with your purpose. It begins to attract helpers, ideas, and coincidences that seem divine, but are lawful responses to your definiteness. Repeat this truth often. The law rewards motion because motion proves belief. You may say 1,000 affirmations, but one act of faith carries greater power than all of them. Infinite intelligence responds to the vibration of definiteness, not to the sound of repetition alone. Doubt asks, "What if I fail?" Faith asks, "What if I succeed?" Then it moves. You must become a man of movement, not merely meditation. Too many pray for direction while standing still. Direction is given to those already walking. The wheel must turn before the road appears. Consider Lincoln. Besieged by criticism, burdened by war. Yet he acted daily with quiet resolve, making decisions no man before him had dared. His faith was not loud, but unshakable. He moved steadily as though guided by an unseen hand. That steadiness was faith translated into leadership. Action guided by faith requires no drama. It is simple, constant, disciplined movement in the direction of purpose. Do not wait for courage to appear. Begin. Courage follows motion, not thought. You must make the act of faith a habit as natural as breath. The more you move under its influence, the less you will hesitate. Each morning's declaration is the ignition. Each deed is the turning of the wheel. Eventually, action and belief merge. You no longer have to will it. You simply are it. Edison once said, "Everything comes to him who hustles while he waits." The words seem contradictory, but reveal perfect truth. While others waited for fortune to knock, he labored in faith, and faith delivered more than fortune. It delivered fulfillment. Begin this discipline tomorrow. Before your feet touch the floor, speak your decree. Then immediately act upon it. Rise with command. Make your bed with precision. Dress as though opportunity were already waiting at your door. These small acts train the subconscious to see every morning as sacred. During the day, translate faith into motion through 3 principles: decision, persistence, and service. Decision ends doubt. Persistence maintains rhythm. Service multiplies return. Every act of service done in faith draws unseen allies to your cause. Carnegie often said, "I found my fortune in serving others better than they expected." Service is faith made visible. It declares abundance by giving. Fear hoards. Faith invests. Give your energy freely and watch it return tenfold. When weariness whispers, repeat softly, "Faith moves through me. Infinite intelligence renews my strength, then act again." You will find that energy returns not before you move, but because you move. Motion summons vitality. The man of faith in action becomes immune to discouragement. He sees delay not as denial, but as development. Every pause is preparation. Every obstacle is material for mastery. He knows that the law is exact. It delivers in its own time, not before, not after. His duty is to keep moving. Faith expressed through action collapses time. The man who waits for certainty wastes decades. The man who acts upon belief accomplishes more in 1 year than others in 10, for life itself favors momentum. Let this be your creed. I will think, speak, and act as one whose success is already certain. Walk with that rhythm long enough, and doubt will no longer recognize you. When fear returns, and it will, answer it with movement. Begin something. Sweep your surroundings, organize your thoughts, write your plans. Fear cannot rule a moving target. If you wish to know what you truly believe, look at what you do. Deeds are the mirrors of faith. To say, "I believe," and sit idle is self-deception. But to act, even trembling, is to command the law. Faith without action dies in the mind. Faith with action lives forever in the world. You must become the living proof of your own affirmation. Every morning, declare your command. Every day, translate it into movement. Every night, review your deeds and give thanks. This practice will make each day not merely the best of your life, but the most productive, the most peaceful, the most certain. For the law favors not the loud, but the loyal, not the ambitious, but the active. He who lives by this habit saves decades of wandering. For while others dream of change, he becomes it. And by evening, when he looks upon the work of his hands, he may truly say, not as hope, but as fact, "This was the best day of my life." Each sunrise offers man a new world. To him who governs his thoughts, the dawn is not repetition, but renewal. Every day is a life within a life, complete in itself, rich with the power to create or destroy. The man who masters one day masters all. The future is but a chain of todays. He who commands each link commands the chain. The purpose of declaring, "This is the best day of my life," is not to escape reality, but to remake it. It is not a denial of hardship. It is dominion over it. The phrase is a reminder that you, not condition, are the author of experience. You decide whether today becomes burden or blessing, prison or palace. Faith begins at dawn, but must live until dusk. It must govern thought, word, and deed through every hour. A single declaration, however powerful, cannot build the habit of mastery without consistency. Consistency transforms effort into identity. After 30 days of deliberate command, the phrase ceases to be repetition. It becomes self-definition. Affirm, "Every day is my masterpiece. I begin in gratitude, live in purpose, and end in peace." This is the formula for daily dominion. Gratitude sets the vibration, purpose sustains it, peace seals it. The mind thus becomes a circle of power, unbroken, complete. Abraham Lincoln lived this law, though surrounded by sorrow. He said, "When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That is my religion." He measured each day not by comfort, but by conduct. Even in war and grief, he found meaning because he ruled his mind, not his circumstances. To live the best day, every day, you must train yourself to meet imperfection with perfect spirit. Do not seek to avoid trouble. Seek to transmute it. The man of mastery is not untouched by difficulty. He uses difficulty as material for strength. He converts resistance into resilience. Thomas Edison rebuilt after loss. Carnegie grew through hardship. Ford thrived in doubt. None of these men waited for perfect conditions. They used the day they had as if it were the finest canvas offered by eternity. And it became so. When you rise each morning and declare your command, you are placing yourself under divine discipline. You are saying to infinite intelligence, I am ready to be its channel. To sustain that discipline, you must live the day deliberately. Guard your attention, direct your emotion, and choose your words as you would gold coins. The hours between sunrise and sleep are the test of faith. They reveal whether your morning command was faith or fantasy. When anger tempts, when doubt whispers, when fatigue presses, repeat softly, this is still the best day of my life. These words turn adversity into an altar where faith renews itself. Gratitude at dawn and reflection at dusk are the bookends of mastery. Between them, purpose writes its chapters. At night, review the day. Did I keep my decree? Did I speak as creator or as complainer? Did I direct my energy or did I drift? This nightly review is not judgment. It is adjustment. It strengthens awareness. You will find that perfection is not required. Persistence is. The man who strives daily to live his command builds momentum. Every morning's repetition deepens the groove of faith in the subconscious. Every evening's reflection polishes it to permanence. Life becomes rhythm. Faith becomes breath. You no longer need to remember to command. You simply are the command. The phrase, this is the best day of my life, ceases to be an exercise and becomes identity. Understand? Success does not come to the man who demands a new world each day, but to the one who brings new spirit to the world he already has. Greatness lies not in changing scenery, but in changing self. Carnegie used to say, do your day's work well, and tomorrow will take care of itself. He meant that excellence repeated daily accumulates like compound interest. One good day lived consciously can outweigh a year of drift. Every act of faith performed today shortens the distance between desire and fulfillment. Each morning's declaration saves you from 10 mornings of confusion. Each evening's gratitude erases 10 worries. Faith is the only investment that multiplies instantly. When you have mastered one day, fear of the future vanishes. The anxious man looks too far ahead. The wise man walks one day well. Infinite intelligence has designed time as mercy, dividing eternity into 24-hour lessons. Each dawn says, here is your chance to start anew. Do not say, I will have faith when I am rich. Say, I am rich because I have faith. Do not say, I will be calm when the storm ends. Say, I am calm, therefore the storm cannot disturb me. To live this way is to live every day as the best day. When trouble appears, greet it as teacher. When delay arrives, welcome it as test. Say within, even this shall serve my good. Such response breaks the back of discouragement. The subconscious, hearing your composure, obeys your tone. Practice stillness amid action. Take moments during the day to breathe, to remember your decree, to realign your thoughts with gratitude. These pauses recharge power. The mind, like an engine, performs best when rhythmically balanced between effort and rest. By night, the master reviews his day with serenity. He gives thanks for progress, forgives imperfection, and retires in peace. His last words are faith. Tomorrow will be better still. Sleep becomes creation. The subconscious labors while the body rests, building the pattern he has impressed. Repeat this cycle until it becomes unbreakable habit. Within weeks, you will find that external conditions no longer rule your mood. You will have moved from reaction to rulership. People will feel your steadiness and respond with trust. Circumstances will align with your certainty. To live the best day every day is to save not only years but lifetimes of wasted thought. For most men spend their days enduring, not creating. They survive hours instead of mastering them. But you will be different. You will begin each day with faith, fill it with action, and close it with gratitude. This practice will transform not only your success, but your peace. You will cease to chase happiness. It will accompany you. You will no longer pray for strength. You will live as strength. You will no longer wait for miracles. You will become one. Say each morning, "This is the best day of my life." Say it at noon. "This moment is the best of my day." Say it at night. "Today was the best I have lived." The rhythm of repetition builds permanence. Even on days of loss, repeat it still. Say it through tears if you must. Faith spoken in darkness calls light into being. Every sunrise will answer your steadfastness. The universe cannot resist the vibration of a grateful, expectant, active soul. Remember, mastery is not one act, but a pattern. Live one day well, and you will live all days well. Govern one sunrise, and all dawns will obey you. Command each morning, act through faith, speak with gratitude, and end in peace, and eternity itself will bow before your definiteness. You will no longer need to seek miracles, for every day will reveal one. And as you lay your head to rest each night, you will whisper with quiet joy, not pretense, "Indeed, this was the best day of my life." And tomorrow, because faith compounds, it will be better still.